I just might have found the weirdest looking socket I've ever seen. Let's open this up and take a look. Hey, what's up YouTube? Dan the Fix-It Man. Got another quick video here for you. I just saw these on Amazon Japan and thought I'd give them a try. Now, it's not necessarily a new design or a new idea, but I can see what they're trying to do here. This is just a very low profile socket that can be used with a box end wrench. The idea behind this, of course, is to have the shallowest possible depth and still be able to get on a fastener or a nut or a bolt and take it off. Definitely going to be a smaller overall footprint than a socket wrench with a socket. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a translation from my phone. Let's hit translate. Best for working in places with obstacles and dark places. So I don't necessarily know that they mean dark places, but I can imagine what they're trying to say is, tight access or hard to reach places is really the idea. This is really just a super low profile socket that can be used with a box end wrench. Let's open these up and see what they look like and see what kind of access we're talking about. So I just picked up the 10 and the 12 just to have a little bit of comparison to maybe some of the sockets that I've already got. I also not only wanted to compare these just with the depth of a socket, but also with some ratcheting wrenches that I also bought from the same company, TONE, that also have an extended offset. Let's take a look at the 10 first. Grab the calipers here. Just picked these cheap digital calipers up. 17.1 millimeters. Now, if we put this in a ratcheting wrench, wow, that is so cool. It actually extends out just beyond. So still your overall depth is going to be right there, 17.1. And that is nice. Wow. Very tight access. And it's got, of course, the hole going all the way through. So if you did have a bolt, going through, you could actually take the nut off. By the way, these are 12 point. So that's going to be a little bit different than some of the tight access sockets. Now, if you look at this Astro Tools design, this is a similar design. And I really like these tools, but it's a much larger design. So this is the 10 as well. And if we look at the overall depth here, we're at 22.4. These are designed to work with a 17 millimeter box end wrench. But that's still a very low profile reach, and this is a very, very great tool to have. This particular set is Astro Tools. I really like it. There's other brands or other versions of this same design that I'm sure some of you have also seen. I also have this really low profile socket from OEM Tools. This is also their 10. Overall depth on that is 19.8, and that's very small, but even if you use the smallest ratchet you have in the 3/8 size, you're still going to be a lot larger, 30.7. So there's really no comparison. These are amazingly low profile. The depth on this is really unbeatable. I mean, look at that. That's the depth on that. That is really the shallowest socket and box end combination that I've seen. But I also have these right here. This is the TONE RMA 400L or the RMAL series. And I love these because of that extended reach. And look, it's actually shallower than this. Now, I did a review video when I first got these, and I've been using them quite a bit. I still really like them. And take a look at this, 12.6. That's the only thing that beats this one here. But there are going to be cases where a little bit more offset is needed. We all know that. We all know that when you're working on something, you can't just have always the smallest or always the longest. It's just like back in the day, the only way that we could really do that was either using a shallow or a deep socket or a combination of extensions in order to get the right depth. Now, the engines that we work in are so tight, you really just have to have some options. And that's why I bought this. I really just wanted to have the option of something else to use. Now, this has a little ring around it that retains it, and it works perfectly. Look at that. Doesn't fall off. Again, the one from Astro Tools, they're great, but they do not have the D10. It looks like they are cut out for something similar or something like that. Astro actually might have a tool that holds on to that. Maybe that's what those little cutouts are for, these little notches right here. I just never picked it up. Using it with a regular box end ratcheting wrench, it doesn't hold on to it, so you might have that fall out of the tool. That's where this one is better, the fact that it holds on in just a standard ratcheting box end wrench. This happens to be a TONE ratcheting wrench, but I also grabbed the 12. I don't have a 12 in the TONE, but by the way, this end is a 6 point. You don't need to have a 12 point box end ratcheting, but it does work on a 12 point or a 6 point. Let's try it here on this one. So there it is in a gear wrench, 12 millimeter. And again, that little detent holds it in place. And you really can't beat that. I mean, the depth on that is just so small. So let's measure the 12, 18.5. We'll check the Astro Tools version of 12. We're looking at 22.4. Huge difference in depth. And if we grab the same TONE, the RMA L longer tool here, this is going to be less, 14.5. So again, you've got options here. I mean, you could even use this right there in the box end of this one here if you want to. You don't have to use this in a ratcheting wrench. And look, it stays in there as well. Such a cool little tool. I'm more excited about these than I thought I would be. I just thought these were going to be kind of a gimmick, but that is not a gimmick at all. That is something that I'm definitely going to be using, and I'm going to make sure that I put these in a safe place. Now, the only thing is this isn't something you can store on a socket rail because there is no opening for a 3/8 drive anvil. So there's not really a good place for me to keep these. I'm thinking now I might actually just put these with these RMAL wrenches and or maybe snap them into the end just for safekeeping because they don't come off. That actually might be where they get stored. I'm not sure yet. I'll figure it out. If you guys have any ideas, of course, just let me know. These have already saved me in lots of situations, and I know that we've all been in situations where you just have to have very low access with a little bit of an offset. And there's already been cases where I've used these where I wish, oh man, I wish that offset was just a little bit longer and I could get it done without having to switch back to something else or, you know, come up with another alternative. But here is an alternative that this is something that I would think I would rather have it and not need it versus need it and not have it. And I know we say that a lot to justify a tool purchase, but for the cost, these are definitely worth it to me. The part number on these is RGD-10 and RGD-12. Now, these were pretty inexpensive when I bought them. I just bought these from Amazon Japan, and I think they're about 10 or 12 bucks each, but I just looked and they've gone way up. They're like 30 or 40 bucks each, but I'm sure that'll change. Just keep an eye on Amazon. A lot of times things will change around a lot, especially on Amazon Japan. Now, TONE is a Japanese company, but I know that some of their tools are made in Taiwan. These do say Japan right on the socket itself, right there. I imagine these particular sockets are made in Japan. Pretty amazing little design and definitely does what it's supposed to do. I'm pretty excited about this. For the price, I mean, these are a little spendy for what they are, but the idea and the design behind this, I can see how this will really save somebody some time. Now, I just picked up the 10 and the 12 initially just to check these out and see if it was something that I thought was worth owning. I can tell you right now, I'm already happy with this design, happy with how they feel and how they work, and they do hold really well in a box end ratcheting wrench. So I'll probably pick up a few more sizes as well. I may not complete the entire set, but I didn't see a complete set, for example, for sale on Amazon, but I did see sizes all the way up to 24 millimeters. So I'll probably pick up a few more, at least for some of the stuff that I work on. I hope you guys liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't mind. That does help me out. And of course, I'll get a link in the description where you can pick up these exact same tools along with some of the other sizes as well. Thanks so much for watching and good luck.